It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for Ye Old RAWDOWN, the number one source for all things WWE right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I'm your host, Young Anthony of the Independent Epicenter. Joined with me, as always, are my co-host in crime, the MVP Marco of the Chick Foley Show, and...
You're going to remember the name of Bone Dust.
Bone Dust is with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, we have a jam-packed episode, to say the least. Jam-packed is an understatement on the amount of news that we are going to be covering tonight.
God damn, pal.
Yeah,
God damn it, pal.
Everyone's getting jammed and packed.
Oh shit! Come on, save it for outside the ropes, gentlemen. No, but nevertheless, we have so much to get into. I hope you enjoyed today's episode because we're going to enjoy delving into so much wrestling news. And so let's just get right into it as we start every episode, as we always do, with our first segment, and that is news that you can find
outside the ropes.
I'm going to do the Cody
news.
I'm going to do the Cody. So what do you guys want to talk about?
What do you guys want to talk about? You know, I don't have that drop, but there is a drop that I do have that I want to play for everyone, and I've been waiting all week to play this one.
You're fired.
You're fired. I'm sorry. You're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. I suppose you're fired. How the hell are you going to get fired on your day off? You're fired.
All right.
This is the ultimate you're fired, man.
Well, I would like to start off today's episode by reminding everyone that our show lives by the motto of then, now, forever, and the most important one is together. Thank you for watching, everyone, and we will see you next week.
All
Take
right.
care. No, I'm just kidding. You know, it always happens. We go off the air on Tuesday and we think, you know, we had a good episode, sure, but nothing, you know, what news is going to come up next week?
Good game, fellas, you know.
Great episode. What's going to come next week? The day after is always when the big news comes in. So I'm expecting something big Wednesday to pop up for next week, but we'll get there. Wall Street Journal, the most reliable wrestling source, gave us a very interesting tidbit of news. Well, tidbit to I don't know if that's a tidbit, but Vince McMahon, the man himself, is involved in a $3 million hush money scandal. $3 million. And this is not a good situation for the boss to be in. This is definitely the biggest piece of news, biggest scandal pertaining Vince, I would say, since the steroid trial.
Absolutely.
Goes to say the least. So, you know, the Wall Street Journal posts this piece of news. Everyone's going crazy. And then Friday morning, Vince McMahon is announced that he stepped down from the his CEO status in the WWE. And of course, who takes over but Stephanie McMahon is now the interim chairwoman of the WWE. So
look at that girl there.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
So Stephanie McMahon takes over for the time being, or I mean, who knows? And you think that, you know, it'll just be fine. That's the biggest piece of news we get that day. Stephanie's, you know, coming into office. All of a sudden, and we're going to talk about SmackDown later on in the show, but all of a sudden we get the news that Vince McMahon, or excuse me, Mr. McMahon in character, will be on SmackDown. And just for our lovely audience, we have the clip of what Vince said, and I would love to play this for everyone.
I'm here simply to remind you of the 4 words we just saw and what we call the WWE signature. Those 4 words are then, now, forever, and the most important word is together. Welcome to SmackDown!
What could you say? What could you say about that? All right, I know we all want to dig right into this. Bone Dust, I'm going to let you start this one off.
So as far as what he had to say on Friday night, I know a lot of people were saying, "Oh, that's nothing." Like we wanted, Stephanie to come out and say, "Yeah, fired." Yeah. I mean, obviously that's would be a great thing, but he kind of echoed what I had to say a couple weeks ago, basically, with the Sasha and Naomi thing. And I said this a couple weeks ago, nobody's bigger than the business, not even Vince McMahon. And that's what he came out and said. He goes, you know what? Nobody's bigger than the business, not even Vince McMahon. That's basically what he said. He said, WWE's going to live on. Everybody calm the fuck down. I got a lot of banging to do. Just everybody calm down. That's basically what he had to say. As far as the whole situation goes, this is heads and shoulders the biggest story, biggest thing to happen in wrestling. Of course, outside the ropes goes since the steroid trial. But potentially. And I say potentially because if he used those funds, depending on where those funds came from, if it came from his pocket, okay, it becomes a moral issue. And then they handle it however they need to see fit, okay? Mm-hmm. If those funds came from WWE, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
There's a big problem. So, and that's why ultimately people are wondering that's why we're having an investigation. That's why he has to take a step back. He cannot be signing checks and, making business decisions if there's an investigation. So that's why he has to step back. Ultimately, it's interesting at the same time. Stephanie's back in the picture too, right? Stephanie's back. She left a month ago. That was right around the time whenever the investigation started. Clearly, that's why she left. I don't see why you can't, I don't see anything otherwise. Because she wouldn't have be back if it was like how we talked about, like, look, maybe she did, she just needs to take time for her family. She has, issue, whatever, a lot of issues been going on at home with Hunter's sickness and things like that. Yeah, she needs to spend time on. Well, clearly that's not what it was.
Right.
Let's be real. So clearly she's on the board. She knew what was going on. Hey, I have to step back. Gotta get out of here, pal. And
well, there were a lot of things that I was, and Marco, I'm going to let you take this one in a moment, but just a few things that I was considering, and I wrote these down like the day that it happened. Everything with Stephanie taking office and Vince stepping down and Vince showing up on SmackDown. Some of my biggest things that I was considering, in a long-term thought process, like how would this affect the creative of the WWE going forward? At the time, I was really thinking like, would you really see a lot of mainstream stars like Cena or Rock wanting to get involved in WWE with all of this controversy surrounding them? That could be a huge thing that, will they try to distance themselves? Well, obviously, that theory was debunked by Vince McMahon himself, who yesterday on Raw came out, and the only thing he said was, John Cena's coming back next week. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. So maybe this won't impact, stars coming in, but it also makes you think, like, will we see any big changes to the creative of the WWE to counteract the shock and awe that has surrounded this situation? My big thing was, would we have seen, for instance, Riddle win the Universal Championship last week just to bring a new sense of a new headline? But obviously that didn't happen. So now we see a situation where the mainstream stars are still willing to put themselves in the WWE. and they're not doing anything to stray away from this controversy, especially due to the fact that Vince is putting himself on TV and fully being aware that this is all happening. Marco, take this one. What are your thoughts on all of this?
So what I'm going to say is, so SmackDown, they used to call it the Blue Brand. I'm going to call it the Blue Chew Brand. That's the new name for SmackDown is the Blue Chew Brand. No, but just to like hop on your sentiments about, outside, celebrities or outside forces or what have you coming in and doing business with WWE. It's too early. Personally, it's too early to tell. Still under investigation. And when people talk about this, they're automatically thinking of that $3 million payout, but there's multiple people are forgetting about. There's multiple instances where he's paid money for people to be quiet that he's been dealing with. So
and on the Fisherman says Blue Balls Brand, apparently.
Nice.
Yeah, so like people are forgetting that there's multiple women involved in this, in multiple instances where there has been payouts, and these are still all under investigation. We just know of that one big one that happened, that $3 million one. We don't know if there's more. Supposedly he paid this one out of his pocket. All those other ones, that's why they're investigating, because they may not have come out of pocket. They may have come out of WWE petty cash or something like that. So only time will tell if people are still gonna want to deal with WWE as far as like celebrities and big names, advertisers too. I've been reading a lot of like business articles saying there's the ramifications for this. It's too early to see what's going to happen now, but depending on what unfolds out of this investigation and what they find, it could definitely hurt them money wise, especially like you said, with a lot of investors, a lot of advertisers might want to drop out and not deal with the company anymore. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's too early to tell. I mean, John Cena coming back, he's a WWE guy. He's not really a, he's attached to the company, but not attached enough where, they're like, they'll die if he doesn't show up. So I think, like I said, I think in the future, SummerSlam will be perfect. A few months, like a month from now, see what happens in the investigation. I'm not sure how long this investigation is going to take, because they're probably going through a bunch of finances, literally everything, probably fine-tooth combing everything that's WWE's been spending money on, other than obviously advertisements. Anything out of the ordinary, I'm assuming. And the other thing too is they said that this was leaked by a board member. A member of the board actually leaked this information. Obviously the emails were from an anonymous person that was a friend of the person that that's the main story of this. But it was a board member, and who knows who? Everyone's on the board. Triple H is on the board. He's a part of the board. Stephanie's a part of the board. And obviously a bunch of other Nick Khan's a part of the board. I've seen a lot of conspiracies about, obviously, Nick Khan trying to slowly take over the company. But there's other members of the board that could have leaked that information as well. And I mean, he definitely has a target on him, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. And, no, I mean, there are so many different conspiracy theories that are, coming about from this whole situation. There was one that, I want to just, it's not necessarily a conspiracy, but more of a coincidence, if you will. So January 29th, Vince and Shane have their little Rumble disagreement, and Shane is removed from further plans. And then you have March 25th, which Triple H reveals that he's, retiring from being in the ring. Of course, he had his, what do they call it? A cardiac incident or something.
Yeah, he has a pacemaker now.
Yeah, he had some like rare heart.
Something weird.
Right.
Something
like that.
They called it something like weird, like it was taking.
It was a cardiac event.
A cardiac event or whatever. And so that was March 25th. May 19th, Kane's favorite day. Stephanie announces that she's taking her leave of absence.
Okay.
And then June 15th is the Wall Street Journal drops its allegations. So literally month after month, everything is happening with the McMahons. I think we're due for a Linda story in the next few months, but we won't go there.
I think Kevin Sullivan's got his fingerprints on this one.
Oh God! Oh man. Anyways, do you guys think, talking about conspiracies, do you guys think that the releases have anything to do with this whole $3 million deal? A lot of people were saying it like, it was used to make up the money. I don't necessarily believe that because they're $1 billion company.
Well, for one thing, if that's the case, then he's going to be in big trouble because that money goes to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that money's not being funded to that. So no, absolutely not. And plus, like, is anybody surprised Vince has been doing this? He's been doing this for years. Okay, right. So
yeah, I guess like I said, there's multiple instances where this have happened that they've uncovered. Whether or not he paid out of his pocket for all of them, that's where the investigation lies. Was the funds he's been giving to these people a part of WWE or out of his pocket?
I mean, and okay, this isn't a political show, but his good buddy Donald, right? The king of the NDAs, Stormy Daniels, you know what I'm saying? So like this is they have their little $1 billion club where they have their little NDAs. You come in, it's on a sign-in sheet. It says NDA.
We make movies.
They're making movies. We said at the same time.
What kind of movies? I don't want to know. But no, there's so much going on with this story. And the fact is, we wanted to hold off and talk about this all today. We were thinking about maybe doing something on Friday when it all happened, but we wanted to hold off and talk about this. We still don't even have the full story. So we're probably going to be talking about this for the next few weeks.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Even if we don't cover everything right now, which, there's a lot that we've already covered, stay tuned the next few episodes of RAWDOWN because we're definitely going to be hitting on some more info.
And there's at some point supposed to be doing a biopic on Vince's life, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
Does that even happen? That might not even happen.
It might not even happen anymore. I know they also decided to show to do the steroid trial. Like, there's supposed to be a book coming out. I mean, it's...
Again, Netflix, they had a deal with Netflix.
Yeah.
What happened to that Netflix deal now that this
that's going on Brazzers now?
Yeah.
T-Bone's just
the hub,
all the comments.
Enjoy destroying lives.
He destroyed his own life on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. But like I said, the Netflix deal. There's supposedly, obviously, we've heard rumors of the Hulk Hogan biopic too on Netflix, and I think Chris Hemsworth is supposed to be playing him. I think he did a recent interview for the rounds of for Thor because he's he's doing all like the interviews and stuff. And I guess that's not like not even it's not happening right now. Essentially, that's not even a talking point. So
damn, Terry.
Yeah,
damn,
I mean, obviously we know what's going on with obviously it was 6 years ago or 7 now anyway, but maybe even 8. But I mean, all these
piece
things,
of shit.
Yeah, I mean, all these things have ramifications, man. Like it's a ripple effect. I've seen a lot of people saying, the reason why Naomi and Sasha Banks left too is because they kind of, they caught wind of who we didn't talk about yet. The head of talent relations, John Laurenitis.
Oh, he's coming. Don't you worry. We'll be there in a moment.
Well, Vince, your arms are looking really good.
Save your Johnny Ace impression for when we get there. Continue, Mark.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It's poor MJF, huh? He was the talk of the wrestling world.
I know. Someone said it feels like MJF's controversy was like 6 controversies ago.
I mean, if they get AEW with the Forbidden Door, I mean, there's only one Forbidden Door we care about, and that's the one that Vince has entered multiple times.
Apparently. Goddamn!
What do you mean a Forbidden Door? I'll show you a goddamn Forbidden Door.
Oh my gosh. Any other comments on this whole Vince? Like I said, we'll continue this in future episodes.
Yeah.
He's a dirty old man. That's what Vince is.
Dirty old man.
Real quick,
Bad grandpa, like that movie.
like I was watching, I was like, it reminded me of on Big Daddy whenever the girlfriend leaves him and he goes with his old balls, gross.
Oh my goodness.
Anyone else find it kind of like him coming out on Friday to open the show and then Raw? Did you guys find it weird that he did that, or did you find it kind of like
no? It's calculated.
It was definitely going to happen. Well, let's get to this question in a second. We actually have a run-in that I want to get to, and we'll get his opinions on this whole Vince thing because here he is. There he is. Oh, there he is. I got to change around my things now. There he is. Hi, Tom.
Oh, no, that's
going on, guys.
Oh, man.
OG Fig Kid.
The OG Fig Kid is here. Tom, we're talking about Vince. What are your thoughts?
Speaking of dirty old men, what do you think about Vince? I'm joking.
Jesus Christ. Save the hate to Vince tonight. Hi, Tom. What are your thoughts on Vince?
What do you do? What I miss?
Nothing. You know,
I love that he's just coming out there every week and he's just like, screw you all. I'm here. I'm the owner of the company. I'll do what the hell I want. But
well, he's not the owner of the company. Goddamn, Bill.
Yeah,
he's the majority owner. As Mike Belcaster said, he thinks he's just going to keep trotting himself out there until he can't anymore because he knows his days are numbered.
It's gonna be like Weekend at Bernie's, like on a puppet, like.
God damn it, pal! Part of me thinks that these Vince segments are just on the fly. Like, there's no script or anything. Maybe he's just back there and he's like,
he doesn't need to script himself.
Hit my music, and he just.
He should start doing it multiple times a show. He should just.
They rewrote the script right before the show went on the air, so you might as well just. Put a little.
Just do it a few times.
Vince comes out
this Friday. Let him come out like 3 times. All right, we're going to commercial, guys. We'll be right back, and that's all he says.
What a maneuver!
Oh yeah. So
Dude, he should still come out and do play-by-play for one of the shows. That would be awesome.
That would be good. I would love to see that.
So underrated for his commentary skills. I loved him as an announcer.
Oh yeah, no, Vince was awesome as a commentator.
Yeah.
With the high pitch, he get real high pitch,
Yep.
Oh, what a maneuver! You think he would? You think he would do that in bed too? Oh,
yeah,
what a
maneuver!
Depends which person he had in bed with him.
What's good in the hood?
Thank God you didn't play the rest of it.
Oh, you got to play the whole clip.
Any other comments on Vince? We've got a loaded episode, folks. Anything else we want to talk about?
It's just terrible if this is the way he goes out.
He's not going out.
I don't think so. Like, if it was consensual, is it really wrong?
I mean, he may not be able to be CEO anymore, but we're gonna see. That man is not giving up the seat until he dies.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, no,
God damn it!
He's like a cockroach in a nuclear power plant.
Wait, so I don't know how this works exactly, but can Stephanie just fire Nick Khan? Does she have the power to do
hope
that?
So.
She can fire anybody.
Why would she fire Nick Khan?
Well, I don't know. Just
I was really hoping this whole thing was going to come down on Nick Khan and they're going to find him guilty.
Well, that was my thing. I just threw Nick Khan as an example, but does she have the complete power to just take over the company now?
Yeah, she's
the boss, pal.
She can fire Vince if she wanted to.
Yeah, she can fire Vince.
Yeah, she can fire. Yeah, she can fire pretty much anybody.
I wonder what a Stephanie McMahon WWE would be like, but you would have to think Vince is still gonna,
Well, Linda was CEO of the company up until 2009.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look like how that basically. Yeah.
The thing we need the most is for him to be taken out of control of creative.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one thing he's not taking
He's
out
not-
of control.
yeah,
He's
right.
already said that he's
That's
still
the
in
one
control.
that's the one we want the most. Let him be CEO. Just take him out of creative.
Yeah.
Let's see somebody else run this ship for a change.
Well, Stephanie is an amazing businesswoman. Like the
Right.
amount of stuff, the amount of PR that she's done. I feel like this is an amazing move to put Stephanie in charge. There was ever a McMahon. I've always wanted it to be Shane from a creative end, but like Stephanie, like has to be the heir to the throne.
Yeah, and I misspoke earlier when I said like it's going to look like how Linda was here. Linda didn't do anything to help the company, all right?
Yeah.
You know,
Kinda
and so,
just,
but what I meant was is like that's how it was positioned. You know, Linda was the
I
boss.
got you.
She ran the business stuff. He ran the creative. But Stephanie, like she's like we talked about it a couple weeks ago. She's done leaps and bounds above anything anybody's ever done. So
Look at she when she had creative when she was running SmackDown back in the day, dude. SmackDown was like killing it with Edge and like Eddie Guerrero, like all these. Well, it was her and Paul Heyman essentially.
right.
So if they keep that dynamic, you know, Stephanie, Paul Heyman, Bruce Prichard, Triple H. I mean, they'll be fine. I mean,
Yeah, it'll be.
I think
It'll
it'll-
end up being fine. Like I really wonder what's going to happen with all this. Of course.
Yeah, the only thing I really seen is the reason why they like Vince is still around is because they feel that investors and advertisers they latch on to the fact that Vince McMahon is a part of the company. They feel like obviously if his name's attached from the company, like people are just gonna drop all their connections with WWE and all this stuff. But I honestly don't think that. And I was reading something where as far as shares, so obviously there's a board of directors that own, they all have ownership in the company and stuff. I was reading something where he has 85% voting power. So when votes happen, he's pretty much the majority voter. But as far as ownership, he only has 30-something% ownership in the company, stake, actual ownership of the actual business of WWE. But he has the majority of the vetoing,
Right.
essentially the veto power. But I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. The rest. I was going to say the rest of the shares are in the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yep. Yeah.
The hush money in the bank briefcase.
Yeah. Hush money.
Alimony in the bank. Alimony in the bank.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, most of that money's probably going to go to Linda if she's
You think Linda doesn't know? I think she knows. I don't think this is any shock to her.
What's that song about with Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife? She knows. Who? You ever heard that song? No.
I don't even know Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife sang.
Well, it's not her, but I can't remember who sings. But apparently, he had some infidelity issues. Anyways,
Yeah, I've heard.
That's besides the point. But yeah, she knows. She's known all along. That's my
Yeah,
point.
I think just because this is public, it might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
You might have to kind of save face in that sense, but yeah, it's probably been happening for years.
Yeah, he admitted to it on the Howard Stern show 20 years ago.
Make movies.
That's true. Make movies.
him trotting himself out on TV now every week is the new version of the Kiss My Ass Club.
Yeah,
It's literally just he's waving his thing around. That's him just saying, "I
His
can come
helicopter.
out,
It's all those
you
employees.
will all sing my song." And that's exactly what he's doing, and
he's doing
it's working. Everyone's singing his song. I mean, it's crazy.
He comes out, he's like, he's
Playing my
giving us-
music.
every time he comes out, he's
and he does the Kiss My Ass thing again. I would love if he did that.
well, every time he comes out, it's like a live lemon party. That's what he's doing to us right now.
Yep.
A live version of it. Don't look that up if you haven't seen it at all.
All
encouraging you to
right.
search that.
This conversation's getting off the rails here, but like
He's
I
doing
said,
a live
we've
meat
got
spin. Go look that up. Don't do that. Don't. Look
I think
that
meat
up.
spin. I think meat spin's gone.
for more on this topic. We will definitely be discussing more Vince in the future, but for now, we got 30 minutes worth of Vince talk. I think it is time to move on to our next topic on Outside the Ropes. And like I said, we've got a loaded show for you here today. So we're doing a full 360.
Level 360, yeah.
So amongst all of these news and scandals that are happening in the WWE, there was still an unfinished story that we did not get to the bottom of But on the same day of Friday, it was announced that there was backstage talk that finally, I shouldn't say finally, but there was finally a resolution to another story that kind of got swept under the rug for a little bit. And, okay, thank you, Tom. And it is a story with a conclusion that I must say,
You're fired.
You're fired. I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. I suppose you're fired. How the hell are you gonna get fired on your day off?
had a dream Sasha Banks has apparently been released from the WWE. It's not confirmed yet.
It's not true.
Raj, I forget what his last name is.
Yeah,
he's saying
I don't know what his name is.
It's not
that people backstage are saying that he's released. She's released rather. Sean Ross Sapp is saying, I heard from one person that she was released, but I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it. What culture is saying this? This person is saying this. Everyone, I don't even know what Dave Meltzer is saying about it.
I think they're just copying each other.
She's still listed internally on the roster, so she's not.
Yeah, but so was Cesaro for a while, even when they said that he was released. Like even on
they never said she was
WWE.com, like he was still up there.
Yeah. I mean, they never said she was released anyway, so
his contract just expired. That's totally different.
And also I heard like she was released like 7 weeks ago or something like that. Who knows what the hell's going on? I mean, maybe she's just waiting for all this stuff to blow over and then she'll come back. But yeah, I don't think she's anywhere. Yeah, unless I see the official announcement from WWE. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I think we'll bring it up because this is kind of like a part of it. We were in the comment sections of of the Chick Foley IG page, and I brought up something where I was like, Stephanie McMahon, how she's a CEO now, like maybe in her position, she has to make business decisions that benefit the company in a certain way. Maybe one of the things she's trying to do, and the reason why you haven't heard Naomi or Sasha Banks being released, is because maybe she's trying to keep them on the roster.
She's got to go to her daddy first.
Oh, yeah, sorry, she has to go to her daddy to ask permission to keep them too. That's what it was. But no, that's why I think you haven't heard anything yet. I think I think they were, we'll talk about obviously John Laurenitis. His situation has taken effect today. Stephanie's in power now. Maybe that you haven't heard anything because all the pieces are in the right place now, essentially for the time being, and maybe they'll try to get these two back or anyone that's felt in a certain way. I know they sent out a communication today, like an email saying like such and such has been relieved of his duties, blah blah blah. That might help out. That might help the morale a little bit. That might get some people back.
Like I said, when I said off air, I've got a theory when we talk about that. But as far as Sasha goes, I mean, regardless of if it's true or not, it's only a matter of time. Let's face it.
Yeah, should be. Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I think we won't see her back in the ring for a long time. Mm-hmm. I don't think she's going to AEW unless she's feeling a little vengeful. Like, hey,
petty.
A little petty.
I think she wants to go to AEW.
I can see that.
You think she wants to go to AEW?
Oh, yeah, I think her and Bayley both do.
I don't even think she wants to wrestle anymore. I think she's done.
That could be, but I think she likes what AEW is doing. We know she watches it. She loves it.
Maybe.
So.
They all watch it.
But another thing at the same time is her husband is still a part of WWE.
Yeah,
Mikaze.
That doesn't much because we've seen so many other people in both.
Well, fair point. Yeah, fair point. I guess, but I guess he's more like an employee, so I don't know. It's not like he's tied to a contract. Maybe she doesn't want to get heat on him. I don't know.
Yeah. But do you think they're trying to push harder to keep? I mean, like, do you think they're trying to push harder to keep Naomi just because of the relation to Jimmy Uso?
Yeah, that was it. I was reading an article on that, kind of like a blog post, nothing like concrete, but they were saying like kind of, her leaving could, kind of affect what's going on TV with the bloodline, and that could cause some disruptions in the behind the scenes anyway, with her not her taking a stand against the company, and then her husband having this prominent role in the main event scene. What does that look like, the dynamics and that? So I've seen a couple of things saying she not saying she's going to be like the downfall of the bloodline, but it's her leaving and walking out doesn't help, essentially.
I have a hot take.
All right, let me get one. Where is it?
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Click on that one.
I would rather see Naomi in AEW than Sasha Banks.
Wow. Elaborate.
I think she could do, long term help, for AEW. I think she's been very underutilized in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
She can really. Tom says, I think she's great. She can be great, and because of that bloodline connection, she can really I'm just sitting here imagining a match with her and Jade Cargill for the TBS title. That's somebody that could take on Jade Cargill.
Jade squashing her, yes.
God, Tom. Anyways, I just think a lot more long term. I think she would benefit AEW more.
I just think Naomi's so overrated. I can't stand her.
Overrated?
Oh, I don't like her at all.
I don't think she's overrated at all.
No, I think she's underrated.
I can't stand her entrance. I can't stand her music. Ugh.
It's too bright. Too many lights.
Never. I love Jade.
Stop it with the glow.
Here's the thing with Naomi. I feel bad for her because taking advice from Sasha is never a good idea. She only followed Sasha's lead. She never should have done
that. Well, I mean,
it's happened before. If you, I listen to Road Dogg has a podcast. Obviously, everyone has a podcast now with the umbrella of Conrad. But he actually talked about that when Jeff Jarrett left the company, and he went right with him.
Yeah,
with no questions asked, just left with him. He was young. He didn't really, give a crap. He thought, well, I can leave and then come back and there'll be no issue. But obviously, he couldn't come back right away. He had to go.
Did he say that was a mistake?
Yeah, he did say it was a mistake on his part, and he learned from his mistake, and obviously, he went back to WWE and became essentially famous. But it does happen. People just if you're with somebody and you feel obviously, I don't want to say Sasha's the senior or the veteran out of the two, because obviously Naomi's been there a lot longer. Mm-hmm. But as far as status, main event status, and status within the company, I'm gonna listen to Sasha Banks. If I'm Naomi, I'm just gonna yeah, F it. I mean, my husband's still
her husband's what you doing, Uso? Sasha?
He's making main event money now, so she technically really doesn't have to work. So I mean,
what up, Oos?
Yeah,
what up, Oos? Well, now you're starting to see the seeds being planted of a Sasha-less WWE on SmackDown. I didn't get the picture of it. I should have, but they posted the pictures on WWE.com.
Yeah,
of Raquel Gonzalez winning her Money in the Bank qualifying match, and there was a crowd sign that said Sasha on it.
Oh yeah,
and in that picture, you now just see
ridiculous.
A fan holding up a blank piece of paper because they edited that right out.
Yeah, it said Sasha Crew for life or something like that. And then
so do you guys think that they are going to go to that length of just completely wiping her out of
clearly
their history? Do you think they can do that with the amount of history that Sasha's been involved in?
They've done it before.
Well, they've done it before,
so
but
ridiculous.
Look, we've mentioned Benoit. We mentioned Benoit before and how wiping someone out of history. They did it with Hogan for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about someone like Benoit, I feel like Sasha has more of an impact on the overall landscape of the WWE. This might be a hot take. What Where is it?
Where's
Here
the
it is.
maybe?
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Sasha Banks has more of an overall impact on the landscape of the WWE than Chris Benoit had in his career. And I feel like that there's no debate there. Everything that she did
no, I
with
agree.
But Sasha didn't murder her family.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I'm saying when you're talking about what Sasha Banks did for the WWE, her contributions compared to what Chris Benoit did for the WWE, this is a fucking strange comparison that I'm making.
Yeah, no.
Yes, I know.
Go along with me.
I don't know what you were doing.
Benoit did for like the smaller guys is way more impactful than what Sasha Banks has done.
Not in the WWE,
Chris
I would say.
Benoit's impact on the whole wrestling industry is more.
I'm not talking, but you're not following me. Listen, I'm saying
I'm following you. You're just not making much sense.
no. Listen, in the WWE solely, Sasha Banks' impact is much harder to erase than Chris Benoit's impact. When you look at the amount of milestones,
Exactly.
Okay.
when you look at the amount of milestones, Sasha was in the first Hell in a Cell, the first Iron Woman match, the first Elimination Chamber, all of this stuff. She, the main event of WrestleMania. Benoit's real only big milestone was that WrestleMania 20 win. So when you're talking about the impact that they've both had, it's easier to take away Benoit's legacy and take that away from the WWE landscape than it is for Sasha. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I feel like that there's no debate there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say. I heard Tom say the little guy thing. I'm going back to Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat bringing in for the smaller
even
guys.
Ray. Like Ray didn't have a huge
Shawn
impact
Michaels,
in
Bret
WWE,
Hart.
but Ray for sure. Eddie.
Yeah, they made more of an impact for the smaller guys in wrestling than Chris Benoit did. I mean,
Benoit had a big impact on wrestling, sure, but I'm talking about WWE because it's WWE that is going to wipe out Sasha from their history.
Yep.
So, and it's harder to do that when you talk about all the milestones that she's been a part of.
Yeah.
I don't think Sasha's gone. Just my feeling. She'll be back.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think she's going to be back.
I think she'll be back in about 3 years.
I don't
4
think it'll be
years.
that long.
3 years?
3, 4
I mean,
years.
we've seen Sasha do this before, cry on the floor after WrestleMania for losing the tag team belts. She disappeared then. She's disappeared before.
That got debunked, though. That was not.
Yeah, I think there was some truth to it.
I never believed that.
Who said that?
I believe there was some truth to it. Maybe she wasn't crying on the floor, but she didn't disappear after that for no reason.
Well, they talked about that on the Broken Skull sessions.
Oh, what they say?
With Stone Cold.
Like she's going to say, yeah, I cried on the floor and I wasn't happy?
But this is an entirely different situation because Sasha literally walked out of Raw. She didn't cry on the floor at WrestleMania. This is already proven that she's walked out, and the WWE has addressed that. So it would be different if they addressed, Sasha and Bayley cried on the floor because they didn't win their women's tag match. Like, no, this is completely different. That's why I don't see her coming back. Or even, I think 3 years, J-Bone, is even a crazier situation because if she's gone now, I don't even see her coming back.
Minimum,
probably.
Let's say
a minimum of 3 years. I don't think
a minimum.
Even that, she'll never be back.
Well, no, not even AEW. 4 or 5 years from now, she's going to be a mainstream star doing movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless they give her a bag, which they definitely could. I don't think she's on that like legendary status that they'll really be dying to bring her back, though.
Like Hollywood is itching to have her. I mean, she's Snoop Dogg's cousin.
They already have her.
Yeah, you're right. She's
in the Mandalorian. She's in the Star Wars universe. I mean,
I thought she was gone like after last year's WrestleMania. To be honest with you, so
she probably has a fucking deal with Disney now with like Disney Plus and stuff. Like,
I say she's back by the Rumble.
By the Rumble?
No.
By the Rumble.
I just can't see her coming back. Like, not even AEW. I just don't think
she's coming back.
Same
she's
here.
gonna do the Rock.
I think
she's gonna pull a Rock.
I agree.
Yep. She's gonna.
That's why I said minimum 3 years because Rock kind of popped in and out.
Well, when did Rock go Hollywood? Like officially? Like he was still pretty young by that point. Because when he came back to WWE for the WrestleMania 27 stuff, he was still in his like high 30s.
Oh well, yeah, that was like way after, but like he did like the Mummy and then the Scorpion King, like back to back, and then he came back in like 04
Yeah, but I'm talking when
for that one match, and then
officially
that
left.
was
Oh, he was only he was legit only with the company for like 6 years. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't.
yeah.
that was
Like
it.
after
same amount of time
after
as Sasha.
after Walking Tall came out, that was it.
Yeah.
He was off to Hollywood, and
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
can
then
see
he
that.
didn't. That's why I was saying like, he dabbled in some Hollywood projects, and that's what she's doing right now. She's dabbling.
I mean, look at it this way. Sasha may be viewing herself in the same situation that The Rock has been in.
Should be.
You know, by the time that The Rock
she's a
was
star.
yeah, I mean by the time The Rock was ready to leave for Hollywood, he had really accomplished everything that you would expect him to.
Right?
Same with Sasha. What is there left for Sasha to do
There's
besides
nothing.
I don't know, win at WrestleMania? But she already did that with the tag team match.
Win a big match. She never won the big one.
She's won the big one, just not on the
Green
biggest
jacket,
stage of
gold
them all.
jacket. Who gives a
Or-
shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit? WrestleMania is just a
Raw-
name.
4 out of her 5 Raw title reigns were one match. One of her Raw ones was 2 matches, and her SmackDown was her only lengthy title reign.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
all you
Though. Who
need.
cares?
Yeah,
Terrible.
Who cares? Who cares,
Oh.
Tom?
They
She
just
never
had that
defended
debate
the
on
title in a
the
big
on the
match. She always
Turnbuckle
lost
debate.
it.
Do championships really make the mainstream stars?
She never
Yeah.
cemented her legacy by letting her win the big one.
No, you're crazy.
Oh.
You're crazy.
It's
You're
true.
you're
Yeah.
nuts.
It's true. She
When
never
you're a
got
mainstream
big
star
defense.
like that, a crossover star, I don't think she cares about that. Let's compare it to someone like Cody, who comes back to WWE to win the big one. He is he has that wrestling mentality. Sasha really does not have that from what we've seen. Now, I could be completely wrong, but Sasha's going to do the Mandalorian, and she gets picked from a Hot Wings video to get a contract from Disney. I don't think she's really itching to win the big one if she hasn't done that already. She's been a part of so many different milestones, like I was saying before, that she really doesn't need the big one to be a member of that, you know, mainstream crossover level of talent that the
I'm not
WWE
talking
has.
crossover, but I don't think her legacy in wrestling is as big as it could have been if she won the big one.
No, come
Nah.
on.
no, I don't
Tom,
think so.
Tom, she helped usher in the
What does that matter if
the
she's
horse
never
woman.
won? If she had never had a big title defense?
Tom,
she always
women's wrestling has changed because of her. She's
Doesn't
a part of
matter.
that.
lost.
She's
Doesn't
the
matter.
What do you
first.
mean that doesn't matter?
She was the
Never
second
won the big
women's
title
main
defense.
event of WrestleMania.
What do you mean that doesn't
She
matter?
lost.
Who cares?
She
Don't
made
get
it.
wrapped up in
Wins and losses
stats.
don't matter.
They never let her win the big
It's a
one.
fake.
She
Hey,
was
Tom,
the
guess
first-
what? Wrestling's fake. I'm sorry
It
to tell
is?
you.
Never won the
People,
She let her win the big one once.
well, there's people
So
that
you
haven't.
think winning the championship is bigger than all of the other milestones, being the first this, first that, first African American
think she should
main
have
event of
had
WrestleMania, all of that.
A bigger run as champ, where she actually had a meaningful title.
She
defense.
did.
Never
She
had
did.
that. No, she didn't.
Yes.
I just told you 4 out of her 5 Raw title defenses she lost,
This is when she
One
had
match.
SmackDown title.
The SmackDown
We just
title's
talked
all
about
you
those.
need.
and that
That's
was
it.
the longest one, and she lost at WrestleMania. I think
Okay.
we talked
Hey.
about it on RAWDOWN back then, J-Bone.
Yeah.
She won that match. We said it meant more for her than it did for Bianca because Bianca was so young at that time. We
Okay,
said that.
but we're talking about like, okay, did she bring anything to the table? She changed women's
Of course she brought
wrestling.
stuff to the table, but I never said she didn't bring stuff to the table.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say she never brought stuff to the table. I said she needed that big title defense.
I don't think so.
I don't think
So
so.
wait
I
a
don't
second.
think that
do you-
like solidifies her any more or less. Because look at guys like, I mean, even look at anybody that hasn't won a title that you still talk about
I was
today.
about to bring that Rowdy Piper. Boom.
Yeah, Roddy Piper,
Your boy.
Jake the Snake Roberts, Ted
They never had
DiBiase.
They never had belts. That didn't even
No,
matter.
I know, but you still talk about them, even though they never had belts.
Well, I'm not saying Sasha won't be talked about, but I think it would have like made her even bigger if she had a big.
No. See, and then it's going up against
people
your
don't need
argument. That's going up against your argument about like AEW belt not needing, more belts. Like
Get
no,
from behind
it's,
Sasha so I could see you.
Tom, let me
It's-
just remind you, since I pulled out the stats now, because now you got me heated. Let's go through The Rock's days as champion throughout all of his titles reigns. 44, 2 days, 41 days. What else do we have here?
But he
We
beat
have
Stone Cold finally out of WrestleMania.
21 days. All right, he had a
Upper title.
119-day reign, sure. 35 days. 35 days again. Like, come on, Tom. Like, if
But
we're
he
gonna
still had
really
big
bring it up
moments
there,
where he won. She
Rock
never
has
won
had
in the big
10
moments.
world championship reigns, and only one of them was over 100 days.
Yeah, but nobody had more than 100 days back then.
She was in big moments, huge moments.
all that
She
matters.
never won in the moments.
Who cares if she
It's like
wins?
the Buffalo Bills making it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and not winning the friggin' Super Bowl.
Nobody. It's just pro wrestling. It's all about the story. The story was
And
there.
the story would have been better if she won one of those big matches.
Because she was not in position to win. She had to get Bianca over.
Should have been.
She had to get Charlotte over. Charlotte
Who
would
had
not
a
be
bigger impact on the women's revolution? Charlotte.
I'll say
or
Sasha. Sasha, 100%.
Sasha.
100.
Tom, who is it?
That's a tough one. I would say Charlotte.
No, absolutely not.
Marco, who
It's
is it?
thanks.
I like Charlotte, and I would say Charlotte.
It's thanks to if that's the case, then it's thanks to Sasha.
It's thanks to Sasha.
Yeah, she's the one that, it was Sasha that moved over first, essentially, to the main roster, and then Charlotte afterwards. So
think about that Sasha Bayley match. That's all you have to think about. Sasha Bayley match.
Mhm.
That is one of the greatest matches in the past 10 years.
Yeah, Sasha is still, outside of Asuka, probably the most notable NXT Women's Champion of all time, just because of her 2 matches that she had with Bayley, both of them that she lost, by the way, but are still widely considered 2 of the greatest matches in WWE history, in women's wrestling history. If you want to really make that argument, you would go as far as to say that Sasha Banks' NXT Women's title reign was a huge title, reign for her. She went up against, she had the Fatal 4-Way. She had that match against Becky Lynch. She had both of the matches with Bayley. I don't think a championship reign really makes a star in that regard. I think that's a ridiculous argument.
I think it helps cement a legacy.
And you can actually say, as far as Charlotte's NXT reign, what notable matches has she had as an NXT Women's
in her
champion?
WWE reign? Charlotte, come on, give me one notable match that she's had.
What big win did Piper have?
Piper had Piper's Pit hitting Snooker over the head with the coconut. There's a big moment right there.
Sasha has the Mandalorian. Sasha has all these 5-star matches.
Mandalorian has nothing to do with WWE.
I know. I just threw something out there, but Sasha has all these milestones.
Yeah, she has a Hell in a Cell match, the main eventing the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view with her and Charlotte. And if you want to, if you take all of Charlotte's matches, all of Charlotte's matches, her notable ones are with Bayley or Sasha.
Mm-hmm. Or Becky.
Or Becky, yeah.
Yeah, she had Hell in a Cell. She had the NXT match. I
just would have loved to seen her won one of those big ones.
I don't think it hurt her legacy.
I don't think it hurt. I don't think it helped.
I think it would have.
I think Sasha I think it's very telling, and we'll kind of try to cap it here because I want to get to these other topics. Right. But I think it's very telling that Sasha is where she's at right now without winning the big one. I mentioned all of the Rock's title reigns before. Is it really winning the big one that comes down to, being that mainstream star with the amount of success that Sasha's already had? It really makes you think. So, listeners, I will leave it up to you to decide because we will never get to the bottom of it. But that's why we love the RAWDOWN, because it is a never-ending debate of the wild, wacky world of WWE. With that being said, I want to get to these comments because the comment section has been lighting it up. Let's just run through some of these. We have some amazing folks in the chat tonight. Said Who is in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Turtle Nom Nom says Vince. Say that 5 times fast. Tyson says, Vince McMahon, you're fired. Turtle also says, allegedly, Vince paid more for sex than he did for WCW. That is true. What else do we have here? We have WWE announced NXT's next show, Cardiac Collision. God damn it. We also have Johnny Ace is also on leave. Oh, we'll get to Johnny Ace in just a moment. Don't you worry about that.
What?
John the Fisherman says, is Ric Flair still blacklisted? Seems hypocritical if he
was
is.
Never blacklisted. He asked for his release.
He's not even with the company.
Time for WWE.
However, they did cut him out of the video packages and stuff. So, I mean, obviously they didn't end things on great terms, obviously. But I would say,
Still on good terms with Vince. He's come out and said that he just hates Nick Khan. Said he would never work for Nikon again. He said he would work for Vince.
Tyson says apparently Stephanie and Kevin Dunn don't get along, so that's also something to be alert for. Tyson bringing in some news that I didn't even hear. Y'all heard the rumor that Dana Brooke got released due to a failed drug test.
Ooh, we could hope.
Come on now. She had that one good promo with Ronda Rousey, and that was it. That makes sense. I don't know if you guys heard. She dropped the 24/7 title on Main Event last night.
I did hear that.
I can't wait for the interim 24/7 title.
The All Atlantic 24/7 Championship. It's on the way. Off the Top Ropes podcast. That is. Thank you for joining us. Nick Storm is in the chat. Sasha is definitely going to head on over to sign a contract with Glory Pro for sure. I don't even know.
Glory what?
You should have mentioned Control Your Narrative. That would have been a joke that we could all get.
Glory Pro is an all women's division or company.
No, I don't know. James Perez, welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's get back into. We're still on Outside the Ropes. God damn it! But we have so much to talk about, including. We're going to just jump right back into the hot topic that is this hush money scandal, because Vince McMahon was not the only person that was involved in this scandal, because my name is Mr. John Laurenitis. I am the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and the former General Manager of both Raw and SmackDown, and I am also involved in this hush money scandal. Holy shit, am I getting fired? John Laurinaitis.
Vince, your arms are looking really big. Hey, that paralegal's really hot. Mind if I ride her like my skateboard?
You know what? I'm not going to cut this out of the audio version. You are going to have to sit there and live with the fact that you were saying all these comments, because I'm denouncing all of them.
I don't want you taking it out.
Oh my God. We have fun here on the RAWDOWN. All right. John Laurinaitis is suspended right now. Who knows what his future will entail. Mm-hmm. But we got to have another head of talent relations. And who better than Brucey? Bruce Prichard has taken on some more responsibility. He is now the head of talent relations. I'm sure he is very happy to take on this position. No problem, Vince. I'll take it on. No problem. You want me to come out as Brother Love again? I could do that too, Vince. I love you, Vince. We're having a great time here.
Nice little fresh paint of coat on the talent relations.
I love that.
Now that is definitely the end of something to wrestle with. We will not be hearing any more phone calls. Little issue here, though. This is what I wanted to bring up real quick, because I know. So apparently, Fightful's reporting, and there's some talent that's not really happy with this decision, and it makes sense, because here's a guy that's, part of creative and controlling that, but also someone that's in control of, hey, I need time off. What do I need to do? So then you got this you're reporting to the same guy, essentially. Not a great situation for talent.
Doesn't it make more sense though? Because he's like, all right, I'm a head of creative, I'll schedule you off then, and he could.
Yeah, but then you can't politic your way to get that.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that. I mean, obviously, I'm not sure how they're gonna, do this, but I'm assuming they'll put someone in the creative role, whoever was like that other person, and he'll take on that talent relations role. But
maybe it'll be the paralegal. Who knows?
Maybe that's a possibility. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I would think someone else would step in that creative role, and work with Vince, maybe like Triple H or someone.
Triple H.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of was a little bit surprised with Bruce being that, because Triple H did have that position, but maybe there's
who have been the former head of talent relations before? It was Jim Ross. Jim Ross was the first, one of the main ones.
Well, then John Laurenitis took it over.
Yeah, Laurenitis did it for a while. And then Canyon, I always forget his name.
Mark Carrano. Mark Carrano did it
Mark
for a little
Carrano.
minute.
But there was another guy. I forget his name.
Yeah, I
but
know
he
who
was
you're
also-
talking about. He's
Yeah.
no longer with the company anymore, right?
Yeah.
He's overseas doing some sports league overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget
What's
his name.
Canyon something.
Yeah, he was over NXT.
Right. Oh, was he in just NXT? I didn't know.
Damn it, I know
Right.
who you're talking about.
And who was before Jim Ross? Was it Lanza? Jack Lanza?
Black Jack Lanza.
someone
I think it was Bruce actually.
Was it Bruce before?
Yeah, it might have been actually.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I know because I remember him talking about this on something to wrestle with. He hates doing talent relations, which is kind of kind of funny. I'm trying to see if I can look this up here.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
You got to deal with a lot of different personalities too, which.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, as we look this up, like,
was Mike Mansouri ever?
No, he was like I forgot exactly what he was. I don't know.
Big.
It doesn't matter, but
Mansour?
just the whole thing that I'll say on this, because I don't really have an opinion either way, but I mean, it's weird that John Laurenitis was involved in this, because you also now have to think about his connections to the other members of the wrestling world. Of course, he's the now husband of husband of the
You
Bella
can
twins
look,
mom.
but you can't touch.
Mama Bella.
Yeah, so that's definitely interesting, and of course, Brie Bella is linked with Bryan Danielson. So this news is definitely shaking the wrestling world, to say the least. With now Bruce involved, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? J-Bone, you made a really good point there. Of course you did. Of everything that happens there.
Seaman.
Yes, that's who it was.
But he was over NXT.
I know he was in NXT, but I think before Johnny Ace came back in, he was in as talent relations.
Oh, he might have been in talent relations, but he wasn't ahead of talent relations.
Could have been. I don't know.
Triple H was head of talent relations for a little while too.
I got you. Well, I mean, again, folks, make sure you're sticking with us here on the RAWDOWN, because we are going to have much more news in the coming weeks, months, about everything with Vince, Johnny Ace, everything in between. For now, we'll just say stay tuned. All right, we have a little bit of a new kind of segment here that I want to do with us going forward, and it's going to be a very quick one. It was adapted from the Turnbuckle debate, which, of course, make sure you check out the latest episode with the Pod Warriors.
With me, the staple of the Turnbuckle debate.
No one watches it for you, Tom. Come on, get it through your head.
Oh, you're right. They listen to it.
They watch and listen. Well,
they could watch it.
They don't want to watch, because then they don't have to see you. We have what we'll call for now the lightning round, and that is, we have one topic that I want to spend no more than, let's say, 20 seconds each to give your quick thoughts, because I know that we can go on for a little bit.
We'll see.
So we'll go 20 seconds each. I mean, you're not really going to have anything to say on this one, but for your outside the ropes lightning round, we are talking about the latest controversy, the biggest controversy of them all, if you will. The Twitter war between Ronda Rousey and Natalya. I didn't care enough to get the graphic for our video users, but basically Ronda Rousey tweets at Natalya saying, "Someone needs to tell you that your discount OnlyFans sister fetish YouTube channel is weird and embarrassing." At Natty Nature.
She's not wrong.
Or Nat by Nature, whatever her Twitter name is. And then Natalya responds by saying, "It was either do a channel with my hot sister or bring people to a rock at the back of my farm to cry and talk about conspiracy theories. I chose the sexy sister thing because we might be weird, but we're not as weird as your hot takes on life." and then she proceeds to tag her OnlyFans, her sister's OnlyFans, I should say. All right, I'm putting up a timer. You guys got 20 seconds each to talk about whatever you want on this topic. Where's my clock app? Here it is. All right, let's start with J-Bone. You've got 20 seconds starting now.
Yawn. Next.
All right.
That
was 4 seconds. Tom, you got 20 seconds. Go.
Who cares?
All right. That was 4 seconds. Good. Marco, you're up next. Go.
I feel like I have to spend the most time on this because you guys just like pass it over.
You already did.
I'm going to say this. Ronda's just jealous. She doesn't have a hot sister to do a OnlyFans account with. That's all it is. Just pure jealousy.
All right. You got 15 seconds
Almost
there.
20.
And I will take up my time to tell you Natalya is the most overrated women's wrestler of all time. The only thing that she does is that move when her opponent is sitting down in the middle of the ring and she steps on her back and she bounces off the rope. That's the only thing she does. And then she locks into sharpshooter and everyone thinks she's the greatest of all time. Natalya is overrated and I'm Team Ronda. And I took 18 seconds on that one. All right. That was a great lightning round, folks.
Love that. That was good.
We have another lightning round coming on later on in the episode, so stick around for it.
We don't have like a little graphic or a musical thing for it?
We'll have that eventually.
Maybe next week.
But for now, we have a
cheap
Ride the lightning.
All right. Really quick, just some comments. John the Fisherman says, I'm definitely pro OnlyFans. That is great to hear, John the Fisherman. The link actually to our OnlyFans is in the comments below. I'm kidding. We have Nick Storm says, we all want a hot sister. I have Tony Storm, so I win. All right, Nick Storm.
You can go to the J-Boner OnlyFans.
You see, this is why this part of the episode gets cut for our audio listeners, because no one...
It'd be called OnlyFan. It'd be my wife.
All right. Well, it is now time to get into our next segment here. It's an hour and 7 minutes into the episode already, but we are finally getting into our next segment, and that is the news that can be found within. God damn it! Can I continue my show here, please? Can I continue my?
Me and J-Bone are having fun.
I popped him.
All right.
Sorry, Anthony.
You're making this hard for me to edit later on. I hope
you don't have to edit.
Can we have fun? All right.
You don't have to edit anything. Let's go.
If I don't have to edit anything,
cut out the best part.
Shut down. No. All right. It is now time to get into our next news segment on the night. We talked about the news from outside the ropes. Well, it's time to get inside the ropes with
collar and elbow.
Collar and elbow.
I love that we have the show with a word that's not allowed to be used in WWE.
Didn't you say that last week? Are you reusing material?
Yeah, I think so. He said it again.
Well,
who wins that? Who wins that call? I know you can't see it, obviously, if you listen to the audio version. But who do you think wins that? That collar and elbow tie-up? It was pretty. That was pretty snug.
We do.
RAWDOWN wins. House always wins.
I do like Randy Orton holding his collar and
well, let's get into this as we have news. It was, I don't know when it was announced, sometime last week, that Randy Orton, of course, he was we thought it was just taking some time off. He had an injury. He needed to rest up and get ready for SummerSlam when he would go up against Roman Reigns in a highly anticipated matchup. However, plans change, pal. And that is due to the fact that apparently Randy Orton is going to be out the rest of 2022. This now leaves a huge hole in the main event scene. This leaves Riddle without a partner. This leaves Roman Reigns has an opponent for SummerSlam, which we'll get to in just a moment, folks. But now things are a little complicated here over on the WWE side of things. So let's just kick it off. What were your initial thoughts of Orton getting injured, and what do you see happening?
I don't believe that he's injured.
Tom is just a conspiracy theorist.
It just so happens that he gets.
I don't think he's injured. I think she's still signed. I think Sasha Banks is this.
I don't think he's injured. He just so happens to get hurt that bad after that beatdown. I think it's just story, and he's taking some time off, and it's going to be longer than anticipated. And
well, apparently he's getting back surgery. He's getting back surgery.
Is he? I didn't even hear that.
That was the other parts of that. That apparently he's had back issues for
he's had back issues for a while. I think he just decided to get it done now.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna. I mean, back surgery isn't a fast recovery thing, so that's why they're saying the rest of. Who knows? I'm not sure what type of back surgery it is, but I'm assuming anything to be done with your back is probably not a fast recovery.
Taking bumps on it afterwards.
I think I think he's definitely out for the rest of the year, especially with that. I mean, I'd like to think that even Cody's coming back soon, but I don't know, man. I know I seen pictures of him at the Nightmare Factory, training some people. Well, he had like a sling on, and he was there with like the students and stuff like that. So.
I did see that. They were watching film.
Yeah, he's probably taking bumps, man, with that sling on.
Yeah.
Was he putting adrenaline? Was he putting adrenaline into his soul?
Funny in this graphic, it does look like Randy Orton singing the "Whoa" part of the song. What I was gonna say to piggyback off Young Anthony's, did leave a huge hole, Randy Orton leaving. But if there's one person that knows how to fill his hole, that's Vince McMahon. And he can definitely make things happen while Randy Orton All right, I'll see you later. I'll be taking off for the rest of the night. Have a good night. Make sure you keep your waitress and your waiters.
Oh, God. Huge. That's a good pop.
That's a good pop. Oh my God. Tuesday is the worst day of the week for me, folks. It is the worst day.
Marco, did you do that on purpose or no?
No, I was right when he said that's my comedic mind. That's all people say I'm quick-witted, because right when he said he left a huge hole, first thing that popped into my mind was Vince McMahon filling holes.
I didn't know if that was as natural as Jay Bone's idea to paint Finn Balor's face black.
Marco, please get to your point before this show goes more off the rails.
No, I'm all done.
You just wanted to drop a joke.
I just want to drop that joke. That's all.
That was a 5-star joke, Marco.
Man, thank you.
Filling holes and digging paralegals.
The time is drawing near.
All right. Well, let's continue talking about Randy Orton.
All right. So let's get serious here for a second. All right.
So, look, Randy Orton taking the rest of the year off. I believe that it is true. I don't know how long back surgery recovery time is, but if you're asking me what I'm seeing, I think it's pretty. If he's back in that reasonable amount of time, hold off Randy until the Royal Rumble and just have Randy and Cody as your final two in the Royal Rumble. There's nothing else that you should do. That is the perfect, perfect situation.
Legacy and all that stuff,
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Easy money.
About DiBiase Jr. too.
He's in trouble. He's in trouble with Mississippi, being real life $1 million.
That referee was trying to fuck on me.
Oh boy,
We're off the rails.
We should charge a feed so people could get the unedited version of this.
Oh my God, so funny.
No, just don't edit it, Anthony. God,
Yeah, this is staying in. I'm sorry. Sorry, J-Bone. What were you saying?
I'm telling Steve not to edit this. Just put your little commercials in, and we're good.
Don't edit my joke though. That joke is gold. Don't edit
don't edit anything.
Yeah.
Anyways,
leave it unedited.
So You know, and I'm gonna be serious for a second, but I don't think like okay, yeah, this is not a great situation, obviously, but I don't think it's like terrible because luckily, like, and I'm not a fan of this person, but you know they've held Drew off. I mean, he can be somebody that can kind of extend the rest of the year till the end of the year. You don't have to put Roman on every show. We've already seen that, right? You know, you got SummerSlam coming up. Then you got the Castle show. You're gonna have Saudi show, so they'll bring back Goldberg. They'll or like Hawk says, the Ultimate Warrior will come back to life. They're gonna pay Dana a lot of bucks. Say, hey, bring him back. Anyways, yeah, I just you know, it's not the worst situation. I mean, I'm not a fan of what they have planned, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it can be worse. I mean, yeah, it sucks not to have Randy. He was on a hot streak. Randy.
I would say this is, if there was ever a time for this to happen, that the main event scene is so thin, it's probably the best time now that Roman is taking time off. You know, we'll talk about the SummerSlam match in a moment, but we'll get that match, obviously.
Maybe that means they'll give some people like some opportunities. I mean,
that's what I love about
it. But clearly not if you look at the SummerSlam match. But you know, I don't know. I don't think this is not going to be a terrible situation. They may do with worse. Think back to 2016 WrestleMania 32. Like they had like a ton of people out.
Cena was out. Rollins was out. Like
Orton was out.
Yeah. It was an awful situation. So they'll be fine. Like
they'll be fine. And who knows? I think Chad brought it up this week when he said it. I think he's 1,000% correct. I think they re-signed Bray Wyatt.
I think so too.
You think so?
I think he's already signed.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. I don't know about
Sam Roberts seems to think so too.
It just he can't. There's nowhere for him to go. He's not going to AEW. Like it's just not.
He can't go to AEW. Bray
and he's
Wyatt.
not going. He's smart enough. He's not going to go to control. His narrative's not going to be controlled. He's like, I'm going to control my own narrative.
Exactly.
I'm going to sign with WWE. I'm going to control my bank account.
Yeah, that's what
I'm going to pad the lope.
No, I mean, he definitely could. I think I've been saying WWE is the only place I want to see him back in. If he, was going to go to a wrestling company, but yeah, I mean, as far as Randy's concerned, like we've been talking about it, like they'll be fine. They've been in worse situations. With everything happening now with this next SummerSlam match, who even knows if Roman's going to be the one who needs opponents coming up. But yeah, I mean, I think it hurts Riddle a little bit because obviously they were a tag team.
I don't.
You don't.
No.
Talk about that.
Well, I mean, it separates them. I think it's good. You don't have, you don't have the weird breakup. Okay, who's going to be babyface? Who's going to be heel? Yep. You get Riddle to go on and by himself. I think he's about to be in a program with Seth Rollins, and that's going to help him out too. I think he's about to be launched. To be honest with you, I mean, I think he just got elevated after the match. I know he lost, but he still got elevated after Friday night. I think this is going to help him.
Well, in Tom's eyes, he needed to have won the big one, or it didn't matter. So
he's won the big one before.
Riddle?
Oh no, Randy Orton. I mean, sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, we're talking about Riddle.
We're live, pal. Marco, any thoughts on this whole Randy situation before we move on?
Man, I mean, like you said, it does kind of put a damper on the summer of Roman. We had that whole thing a couple weeks back where we had his summer opponents planned out, but obviously that's not happening. But
don't worry, we have enough stories in wrestling to make up for Randy Orton.
Oh yeah,
we'll be fine.
Yeah, so I mean, Yeah, like I said, it does suck. I am a fan of Randy Orton. Definitely hopes he gets better. And I mean, he'll just come back, like you said, around Rumble time, and maybe come back and RKO Riddle out of nowhere, and that'll start up a program between them two, maybe leading into Mania, which would be pretty cool.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
Yeah,
I can see that Charlotte Ultimate Edition behind you, Marco.
I see that too. I saw it too.
Oh, the bright pink, yeah, just chilling back there.
All right, let us move on to another topic here on the collar and elbow segment. And we're just going to move right into it because we've already discussed a little bit about the SummerSlam match. We keep alluding to the SummerSlam match. Well, we got confirmation of the SummerSlam match. Roman Reigns and Riddle have a phenomenal match, which we will be shortly talking about in a upcoming segment of Match of the Week. And then, of course, Roman Reigns gets on the mic. There's nobody left. There's nobody left. So I'm going to leave. Acknowledge me. And then he begins to walk out of the ring. But that was until we find out who his SummerSlam opponent was. Take a listen.
There's no doubting he's one of the great champions in the history. Oh, my God. Holy hell! What the hell is this? Could it be? It is! Yes! Yes! Yes, it is! Roman Reigns has seen a ghost! The Beast, Brock Lesnar, is back!
Do we all have to talk like that now?
Well, for YouTube copyright, yes, we do. Brock Lesnar has returned, and we are getting. I'm still on the Randy Orton.
Slipping there, young Anthony.
Brock Lesnar has returned, and we will be getting the match that we've all been waiting for. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match at SummerSlam is confirmed for the main event of Nashville's SummerSlam. Why are they? I mean, why? Why are they doing this again?
You could have gone Roman, Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins hasn't beat him. That'd have been a more intriguing match. And then pair Brock with a younger talent, a Theory, Riddle, somebody else.
Or if you needed to have Brock Lesnar in a match with Roman, make it a multi-man. Throw in Lashley. Throw in Drew McIntyre. No. Brock's best matches in WWE are his multi-man matches. SummerSlam 2017, the Day One match. Those are some of his best matches.
No, but it's time to get younger talent because they're the position they're in right now is because
you're in the situation that you're
we
in.
Don't have anybody. We don't have anybody ready, so I guess we'll throw Brock in there.
Well, no, I mean it's just the fact of the situation is, you have nobody right now, so you need to rely on your semi-established stars for your upcoming show, the second biggest show of the year. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley are, one of the top baby faces on SmackDown.
Boring.
Faces on. But if you throw them all together, it's a huge match.
No, it's not. They're both boring. Not. They're boring.
Yeah, I don't think they're boring.
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley's
boring.
As a babyface, boring. Give me heel Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. But I don't know. Bobby,
I'm strong. Look at me. I'm strong.
Even if they
are me.
Let's not get it twisted. Even if they are boring, Drew and Bobby are one of the some of the better powerhouses from an in-ring standpoint that they have in the company.
Boring. Their characters are boring. 100%. My mother when I was a little boy.
Well, no, that was abysmal.
I want to talk to my sword.
This reminds me of a tale from Scotland. Me mother sat me down and she said, "Drew, fucking get in the ring." That's what I did, and now I'm gonna fight Randy Orton for a 30th time.
I'm gonna cut the top rope.
Cut the top rope.
Practically delicious.
Yeah, no. Put Brock with Riddle. Everybody wants to see it. It would be amazing. It would elevate Riddle. Put Roman with Seth. Everybody wants to see that.
Bring Goldberg back and have Riddle and Goldberg where they had that.
I would be down for that. I'd be down for that.
Put that match and it's
and again, there's a little reality to that match they could use. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Riddle go over. I love it.
Don't call me bro.
I'm not your bro.
So let's talk about this match, though.
They could have Goldberg and MJF as a tag team.
Let's talk about this match, though. We can fantasy book all we want, but we are getting Roman and Brock. What do you think the finish is? Because if we have this match again, this is now the second time this year, 10th time.
Roman's going over.
Who's going over?
Roman's going over. This is just ridiculous.
This is last man standing.
But do you think it's as clear as, like, let's say, I think WrestleMania was very clear that Roman was winning. Do you think it's as clear as WrestleMania that Roman's going over?
I think it's more clear.
Me and Gabe. That's why the office supplies don't mess with us. We got winter part of the office supply, so it
was like what the
getting me is the last man standing stipulation though, because this leads to potentially Roman doesn't get pinned but still loses the championship.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't see
that streak of
you
Roman
guys
hasn't gotten pinned since 2019. Sorry,
you guys see Brock Lesnar staying down for a 10 count?
Yes.
How?
With the help of the Usos?
I'll give you a couple
million. With the help of Sami Zayn?
I'll give you a couple million reasons. When they pay him $2 million for this match, he'll stay down for the 10 count.
No, he's not saying
Brock is a businessman. He does not care about wins or losses.
This is going to be the
just saying he's not going to stay down. Roman Reigns in the middle of this run is not staying down.
Right.
That makes less sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Okay, all right, let's stop this historic reign just so Brock Lesnar can feel like he's okay. Then don't book the fucking match. Don't book the fucking match.
They did it to the streak. Don't forget.
The streak was a historical thing, and he stopped it. Reigns, but
this is that was to build Brock. That was to build him.
He was already built. It was Brock Lesnar.
It's to build him even more.
You know what Brock said to Vince? I'll do it for more money than you paid her to shut up.
Wah, wah.
It was one of the. I look at it as the same way as the Ronda Rousey I Quit match. Like we were all like, we're not. No, she's not going to say I quit. That's not happening. I look at it the same way. I look at it. I don't see Brock staying down for a 10 count.
Ronda wasn't losing that match.
Exactly, because it was an I Quit match.
100%.
It's a different situation.
Yeah,
different situation.
I don't know if it's different.
Different for one thing. Charlotte was leaving. Charlotte has been on TV since she was going to get married. Second thing is they still have to build Ronda up. They don't have to build Brock up. Brock's a megastar. There's nothing he has to do anymore. The Brock versus before the streak.
Ronda's not a megastar?
You don't have to build up Ronda. What are you talking about?
Yes,
she's the big
help me.
The way that they present her, she is the biggest star that they have in their eyes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe so, but like since she came back, she was going off a losing streak.
Well, from the fans' perspective, sure, you have to. A losing streak, one match, but
no, there's a couple.
One in a row.
There's two. It's actually two in a row.
In a row.
Two.
Mm-hmm.
What other match did she lose?
She lost at Backlash, right? Oh, okay. Maybe it was just one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever. Regardless, in my eyes, in the WWE world, okay, stop looking at the WWE world. Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey, like that's like a big gap there. Okay, in their respective divisions. I would say Bianca's a bigger star than Ronda. And I would say Sasha Banks, technically she's employed, is a bigger star than Ronda. Charlotte is probably a bigger star than Ronda. Becky is probably a bigger star than Ronda. That's what that matters. That's what that matters.
At WWE or the world, because through the world, Ronda's the biggest star, and WWE.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Well, so for SummerSlam, when it comes to that, it's not WWE world, it's world, because the whole world, because people travel to go see SummerSlam. So I would say it's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
Brock
but
Lesnar
Brock
and-
lost at WrestleMania, which is bigger than SummerSlam. So same thing's going to happen here.
Yeah.
That was a pin, though. It's a 1, 2, 3.
That's
This
the
is
only
more
thing
like
that's getting me is this because
Yeah.
they've said Roman hasn't gotten pinned since 2019. That's been like the big statistic.
Yeah.
I think that I would even go as far as to say is like a lot of people have been hyping that up as a big statistic more than the title reigns because that's kind of got mixed
so then
up
book
with-
it. Book what happens after.
Yeah.
What happens? Brock Lesnar's champion. Okay, what's next?
Brock is champion, and then Brock goes away for a year, and we don't have to worry about anything. Yay!
Yeah.
Just
Why
like
can't they do that with
2017.
Roman? Which is what they are doing right now.
Well, true. What do you do with Roman? Book Roman after this.
So,
They're
so
fucked
you're,
either way.
you're gonna take this historic run as WWE champion.
Oh, I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying this is something that they could do because Roman's going to be away for a while.
They could do anything. They could have given it to Riddle Friday night.
Nah, they definitely would have.
If they did that, it would have.
I would have seen that. I would have seen that more of an opportunity than giving it to Brock.
If they gave it to Riddle,
everyone would have.
It would have been
But
like they just
saying,
did
like,
it.
this is the
Yeah, no,
only-
it would have been a bad situation for Riddle because it would have been like, oh, they just gave him the title just to take people's minds off of the Vince McMahon thing. That's the only reason
Well,
why he
I'm
had it.
not even putting that in the equation. I'm just saying, I would put before Friday. I mean, before Wednesday, I would have put in the situation, putting Riddle as champion. If I don't know, Riddle as champion versus Brock as being a champion, because you got to build to the next person. That's who the next champion needs to be, not Brock fucking Lesnar. That's my ultimate point.
I mean, they're kind of to speak to that. They're doing the same thing. They're not building like Reigns didn't build to anybody. There was no story.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Him
But,
leaving.
like you
He
said,
left and then came back and faced Riddle. Where was it? Where was his storyline after? Like, there was no build to Brock Lesnar after Riddle. Brock Lesnar just showed up, and now it's a story.
That's the build. You just showed up.
Yeah, but that's just to fill the stadium because the stadium is like they sold like 11,000 seats or something.
You just said there has to be a story, but there's where was the story? Where was the build to Brock Lesnar coming back to face Roman Reigns?
well, it did only just start, and there's been the history with Brock and Roman.
exactly.
But my whole thing is like
There was no indication of Brock Lesnar coming back. That's what I'm saying. There was no like.
Guys surprisingly make it come back and surprise people all the time.
I'm talking about Brock Lesnar as being champion. Brock Lesnar as being champion is not the way to go here. Like Brock is laying down. Like
my whole thing, J-Bone, you said like book Brock as champion after SummerSlam. Book Roman as champion after SummerSlam.
That's
what do you
easy.
do with either of these guys? Who
It's
do you put them up
easy.
against?
Drew
Yeah, who do you put him
McIntyre.
up against?
Well, Drew
I hate
McIntyre,
it.
you could do the
I
same.
hate it.
Hey, look, you could do the
I hate
same
it.
thing. Brock versus Drew at Clash of the Castle. That was
You
the
could do
whole
that
match.
as well,
that was
yeah.
the whole point of.
Okay, so but you're going to
WrestleMania 36.
squander this historic title reign to give it to Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
Who
Roman
says
is not
Roman Reigns
losing.
going to be at Clash of the Castle? You think he wants to go to the fucking where is this Cardiff, Wales? When he's taking his vacation off, he had to come on a SmackDown to that's the only reason why he's doing this is because he's on vacation. Like he's on vacation. They bring him back now because Cody's away. Everything happens and Randy's away, so Roman has to come back.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah, exactly.
Well, did you see what he
You just
looked
said
like?
it.
Did you guys notice the shape he was in too? Did you guys notice like
Yeah,
Roman
he was budgy. He was budgy.
He doesn't want. He's if he could, he would take the whole summer off. Personally, that's in my opinion.
He should.
He wouldn't come back at all.
Huh.
Money in the Bank. He was clear of that. No match there. They moved the Riddle match from Money in the Bank to Friday. They'd probably do the same thing to the Brock Lesnar match. They would move that match to SmackDown for him if they wanted to.
I mean, who even knows if we'll get
He's
Roman
going-
on these upcoming SmackDowns to SummerSlam? Like he might do like the vignettes or something, or show up like the.
That's fine. That's all you need. You don't need him on every SmackDown, but
Because you also
but
think whoever beats Roman like in a pin, like when they actually pin him, that's gonna shoot him to the moon. Who do you want to waste that on?
Not Brock.
exactly not Brock. So
Not-
that's gonna
well,
that's
if
gonna
you're
kill.
pinning him.
That's gonna
So
kill this
McIntyre?
reign. I'm not saying Drew McIntyre. No, absolutely not.
There's no one else.
Yeah, because Roman's keeping this title till WrestleMania 40, motherfuckers.
Well, he should. No, he absolutely should.
Bone Dust is bringing out his inner hawk there, chopping out motherfuckers.
This is like, yeah, my thing too might be.
That's my
I'm
hero.
not sure there's a hot
Don't
take
talk
or
about my
not.
hero like that.
Say that again, Marco. You want me
I'm
at the
not
hot
sure
take?
there's a hot take or not about Roman's title reign.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
To me, not impressive, and I don't think his title reign matters nowadays.
I can't agree with you on that one, Marco. Come on now.
I mean, you don't have to. That's my
First time I
opinion.
ever have to do like this to Marco.
That's usually a me thing. I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, you don't have to agree with it. I just don't think it's as historical as everyone's
I'm putting my
thinking.
Becky Lynch glasses on.
What's not impressive about it, though?
Woman.
Yeah, what's so impressive?
Just, I don't know. It doesn't seem. To me, it doesn't seem as significant for some reason. Like maybe mainly because we talked about this before. As far as star power, he's not the biggest like star in WWE.
Significant, like
All right, well, this is a big video.
no. Like significant all time. I don't even know if I could see it.
Significant all time.
We had this conversation about how how Roman Reigns was not in the same class as any of the champions before him. We had this conversation.
Well, okay. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you can argue Hogan's first run, even though he's a racist piece of shit, was historic. Let's see who else. CM Punk's,
Cena,
Cena's runs.
Everyone. I mean, like if you're talking like the last 10 years, then Roman's obviously the most impactful champion. I think it goes without saying.
Yeah.
In all time,
way,
I don't know if I put Roman as like a top 10 champion.
Not all
How
time.
is it impactful though?
Well, we have to see how it ends, though. It's kind of unfair.
Right.
Yeah. We have to see how it ends, but from what we've seen so far, he's beaten Brock multiple times. He's beaten Cena. He's beaten Edge. He's beaten Rollins. He's beaten all these guys. So it's definitely
He's beaten
impactful.
old, beat-up guys one who was retired for 10 years because his neck was not good enough.
Yeah, but like
way.
look at it in the story. You know what I mean? John Cena, who they are hyping up as the greatest of all time, as Vince was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
Brock
Muhammad
Lesnar,
Ali was
who
the
beat
greatest of all
Streak.
time, too. But if I boxed him right now and won, would that make me great? No, he's dead.
Goddamn, Bill.
The WWE is different in that way, that it's still like the lore. Like when the Undertaker comes back, they'll still hype it up as the lore of the Undertaker, that he's still,
Dude, you just made me think of something.
Yes.
Undertaker at his Hall of Fame speech never said never, and now they could use him more than ever.
I would love to see the Undertaker back. I don't
I wonder if they've made that call to him yet, and he started to train.
Fuck it, do it. If he's willing to, I have always said, if the Undertaker is willing to come back and he wants to get back in the ring, and it's not just like pay him a lot of money, let him get back in the ring. He is a legend. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to come out on Raw this week in a pink tutu and start dancing around with Riddle, I don't care. Let him do it. He's a legend. Let him do whatever he wants.
Never say never.
Hey kids, it's Mark Calloway here.
Yeah, fuck it. He did a whole TED Talk for a Hall of Fame speech. Why?
He did. Welcome to my dead talk.
Yeah.
Never give up on your dreams. This has been my TED Talk.
Can we just watch Undertaker give cameos? Can we just watch that?
Oh my god. People
Little Susie, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Congratulations on your ballet recital.
Scooby-Doo. If that is your real name, All Elite Scooby-Doo.
Oh, so good.
But alas, we are getting Brock and Roman. Fun conversation overall. I'm sure we'll be
you
talking
didn't
about
dump
this more
all your
later
people
on.
in here?
What was that, Tom?
How come Freems didn't dump his people in here at the end of his?
He's probably drunk.
He wasn't
Yeah.
streaming. He's only it's
That's
when he's
true.
streaming he'll dump
He
his
should be streaming.
folks in here. But I do want to call out some tavern mates who are lighting it up in the comment section. John the Fisherman wants to see a fatal three-way between Roman, Brock, and R-Truth.
What's up?
Do it.
Y'all know what time it is.
He also says they need to build up Ronda's wrestling and mic credibility. Yep. Well, there's literally nothing you could do to build up Ronda's mic credibility, especially put her in the ring with Natalya. Nick Storm says, give Riddle a title run. Hell yeah. But in context of this reign that Roman is on, you have to put it on Cody. Build someone in a major way like Cody, and that would add so much to his legacy in WWE. Yeah, I think Cody's the only guy who should really be taking this title off of Roman, a while from now. Vince isn't the only person Vince screwed, apparently, says Freems. I prefer Luchador Juan Cena.
It's one dinner to you.
What else? Freem said it's going to be bad when The Undertaker dies because WWE will try to have him wrestle as an actual dead man because he can't build new talent.
Jeez.
He's not wrong.
Nick Storm says, I would love for Undertaker to come out. Undertaker, sorry. To come out in a pink suit. I would too. What else?
In a
Freems had a debate tonight. If I sent them here, they would just leave. That's true. If it was my normal crowd, I would have, and not big wrestling fans. Well, we appreciate you stopping by regardless, Freems. We are going to continue with collar and elbow. Just one more major topic here. Rhea Ripley is out of Money in the Bank.
Yay. No, I'm joking.
You have a hot take, Tom?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
She's not hurt. They just changed her mind. And they're just saying,
is it really a hot take when you've said this take like 3 times throughout the episode?
I didn't say it's about Rhea.
Yes, but you said it about every other person.
Yeah.
Not her. This is just like, oh, wait, we don't want her in that match.
No, because they're going to hold it off until SummerSlam.
It would have made more sense because she's got to win, and they're not ready to put the title on her if they're going to put her there.
It makes more sense for them to hold off this match for SummerSlam because it's the only real contender that they've semi-built up for Bianca Belair. Put Carmella in this upcoming match because who cares?
Nobody.
And then you have Bianca versus Rhea in a money match that's been hyped up ever since the Royal Rumble of last year. It's money. I'm so down for it.
What he said.
Why? It's the best match they could put on right now.
Yeah.
Give me a better SummerSlam match.
For Bianca.
For Bianca.
Bianca Carmella.
Well, thankfully we're getting that at Money in the Bank, pal. Seriously, is there anyone else?
Anyone? How about this? Anyone else?
Yeah.
Oh, so you would like to see Bianca versus Becky for the 30th time?
Sure.
Yes.
You guys,
it was a great match.
It was a great match, but it should only happen once.
Well, this is WWE, pal. You don't see things only once.
Yeah. Well, how many times have we seen Bianca and Becky go at it at this point? No, I think this is the right move. I don't know. I kind of agree with Tom. I wasn't really buying the whole she's injured thing. Like I said, it could just be a way to hold her off until SummerSlam.
Whoever wins Money in the Bank should challenge at SummerSlam, so there's no giving that it's going to be Rhea at SummerSlam. You're just assuming, and you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me.
But
right on.
You know what else it kills? The momentum of Judgment Day.
100%.
So why just fake an injury?
Get him out of there.
Kill that momentum.
Well, no, it would be worse for them to just take her out with no explanation. Yeah. You're basically just saying Rhea got injured, can't do the match. We'll do it at SummerSlam. It doesn't really hurt the momentum.
Well, she's not going to be on TV.
Because they had so much spotlight this week.
Well, they did a promo. They still hyped up like what happened 2 weeks ago now with Edge.
Yeah, it was such a great moment.
By the way, J-Bone, you were not on the episode last week when I was, proven correct that my theory of, why this is all happening with Judgment Day was.
I never said you were wrong. I said it sucked.
No, I know. I just want you to give me my flowers that I was correct.
You can go ahead and kiss my ass real quick. I never said you were wrong.
No, I know. I just want you to say that I was correct. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
You weren't wrong.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear.
And I never said you were wrong. I said it sucked. I said your opinion sucked, and I said this sucked. That's what
However, I was correct. I thought it was great. I loved it. All right. Any other thoughts on Rhea? The show's, what are we at? An hour and 45. Any other thoughts on Rhea?
We'll talk about it next week.
She needs to change her makeup so she doesn't look like a clown.
Doink the clown?
She looks terrible with that makeup. She looks like a freaking scary clown. What kind of scary ass clowns did you have at your birthday party?
Doinks. I had Doink. I had Matt Bourne coming to
Nobody gets my reference.
And Matt Bourne coming out, all drunk and shit. Bye.
There's only so much of this tomfoolery I could take from you tonight. Match of the week, Riddle and Roman, I think is the pretty obvious answer here.
I don't know about that.
Really?
What's your other?
That Chad Gable Bobby Lashley match was fire.
I didn't even make a graphic for that, but honestly, yeah, that was the whole gauntlet.
I was totally kidding, actually.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I love the gauntlet.
How stupid young Anthony is. He believes it.
I will say, though, the little roll-up that Lashley did on Austin Theory, that caught me off guard. That was good. That was a good roll-up. But
cool.
That's all I want to say on that.
Wow, if you love that, dude. Got a small package to sell you.
I also put the Fatal Five-Way was a really good match, too.
That was a really good match.
I thought they pulled that out.
Dude, that crowd is so freaking behind Liv Morgan. No matter how many times they make her lose, the crowd is always behind her. You notice that?
I know. They'll just never pull the trigger.
Too tiny.
Should never win the big one. I'll tell you that.
Maybe that Vince is not there. Maybe they'll let her.
Well, he still has creative, pal.
She should be. Well, when he's out of creative.
She looks like my granddaughter out there.
She'll be my new paralegal.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Hell, I'd make her my paralegal.
Boom.
Who won the week?
Stephanie McMahon won the week.
Yeah.
You know what we need to do one week?
Stephanie did win the week, honestly.
Stephanie and Bruce.
We need to do a RAWDOWN. I don't know if young Anthony can partake in this, but every time where we mention something, we all have to take a shot.
Take a shot.
That'd be freaking fun.
It would be.
It'd be bad.
It'd be bad. I gotta work the next day.
I don't. So we could do it one night where I take the shot every time something's.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll do that.
Go right ahead.
SmackDown won this week.
Yes, I was easily SmackDown won the week.
I vote for SmackDown.
I'm gonna go Raw, man. It didn't have Elias. The return of Elias on there.
We didn't even talk about that. Elias, that was very good.
Great.
Elias
and KO is so good when he sells that at the end when the Zeke walks by. Like he's so good, and I can't wait to see Elroy.
Yeah, Elroy's gonna be
I wonder
great.
what they're gonna do with that because it's definitely gonna be him against Kevin Owens.
Dude, they fist bumped.
I knew it. I said it the whole time that they weren't the same people, and I was proven right on Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Yeah. No, you were right.
I know.
You were definitely right on that. But yes, I would still say SmackDown won.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this Elias.
It really was actually a decent Raw too. So
yeah, Raw wasn't bad.
It was okay.
That's fine.
It's fine. Yeah,
it's fine.
As I roll up my joint, it's fine.
You got Vince skipping down the stairs too.
How many?
He
real quick. What were you saying, J-Bone?
He hopped off the stairs.
Yeah, he hopped off the stairs
like a bunny rabbit.
and now it's a meme everywhere.
Yes.
How many participants have we confirmed for this men's Money in the Bank? What are we at? 4 now?
Yeah, I'm not in it yet.
You will be though.
I hope so.
Don't you worry.
We have who's it?
You'll pull up Brock Lesnar and like show up midway through the match and win.
There you go.
That's
Maybe
smart.
James
Which, by the way, next week is the. Is it next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Next
Next
week
week's
is
pay-per-view predictions.
Oh
Yep.
wow!
Oh,
Goddamn.
next week? I get to be
Yep.
still be the reigning, defending, whatever the rest of that spiel is. He says.
Okay, we got Seth freaking Rollins, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Omos, Shinsuke Nakamura, or Sami Zayn, and then 3 more people.
My wife had the comment of the week when she said, "There's no way Omos is going to be able to climb a ladder. He can't even wrestle."
He is the ladder.
They're gonna pull out the Big Show ladder for him. You remember that big gold ladder?
Oh God!
There's definitely going to be a spot where someone climbs on top of Omos and grabs a briefcase.
Yes.
That's the end of the match.
And he's just gonna be like, "Oh, look all stupid! Like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? This guy's on my shoulders."
I didn't like it at first that Omos was added in, but like usually when you throw in a big man in those ladder matches, it does work out pretty well. Like
you know what's going to happen?
Kane in the Money in the Bank.
5 minutes into the match, 3 people are going to put him through a table, and he's going to lay there forever.
Yeah, then he'll get up and clean house.
Or they'll throw the ladders on him, and
That's
then
what happens every time there's a big man in a ladder match like this.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna pick up the whole country of Nigeria and just throw it on top of it.
God damn it!
I mean,
anyway, yes, SmackDown won the week, but Marco, you're going for Raw.
Yeah.
Ciampa and AJ was a pretty good match too.
What was it?
Ciampa versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, Ciampa versus AJ Styles.
That was a hard-hitting match. That was a pretty good match.
Asuka and Becky.
I watched the match, and a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
That's great. That's great.
I love that line. That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite drop.
As a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Watch the match, and I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Oh God!
Do we know what match he was talking about? I'm gonna have to ask Ace.
I watched the match, and a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Oh, it was what was it?
It was a WCW match.
Yeah, Roddy Piper and Hogan, the Age in the Cage.
Oh, it was.
Oh, God.
Did they really call it that?
Well, the WWF called it that.
Oh.
Yeah, Age in the Cage.
Because it was the same weekend or the same time period as Hell in a Cell, so they dubbed it as like Age in the Cage.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Look at my wrestling knowledge coming in at 11:56 at night.
Dude, you got the wrestling knowledge all the time for a young guy. You're pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You don't know all the WWE champions on top of your head, but that's fine.
Let's see. Buddy Rogers, Bruno. No, I won't go through all that. If I really
you
sat
got the
down,
first 2 right.
I could probably do it. But
who's the next one then?
Yeah, who's after Bruno?
Buddy Rogers, Bruno Sammartino, Ivan Koloff, and then Bruno again.
Nope.
And then it was.
Nope, you're already wrong. Hold on, where's my buzzer?
Yes, it was. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. Yeah, no, you got it.
It's Pedro, and then Stan Stasiak, everybody's favorite champion.
All right, you got me. Regardless,
Hey yo,
it's time to end the show, folks. Thank you for listening to a crazy edition of the RAWDOWN. Hope you've stuck with us for 2 hours of your time.
Yes.
Tom, where can we find you on the tavern?
Right now, I'm in my basement. Oh, on the tavern. You can find me on Mondays on a debate show, a Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on Fig Night. Tuesdays, I'm also on RAWDOWN now. Wednesdays on the wrap-up show. On Fridays, Turnbuckle Sessions, me and Mike Belcaster.
J-Bone, coming down the aisle. Where can we find you? You made a new Free the Fig, did you not?
Coming down the aisle pod.com, and we did Style of Grace. Yeah, so go check that out. Go check that out. And I've got actually, I got this guy coming this week soon too. Boom! Little old school action.
That's a beauty of a figure.
So some old school action.
Oh, did you see that some of those Shawn Michaels Ultimate Editions are shipping from Amazon?
Are they really?
Yeah, I saw somebody post
Free the fig. Bring it on. I got 2 of them coming to me.
Look at that girl there.
I got 5.
Marco's
Look at that fig there.
Got a problem. I have 5 of those Shawn Michaels.
Love me.
I don't even like you. Oh!
Anyways, coming down the aislepod.com. Let's see. We got a new podcast this week. We got Fake Heel coming on. He was a guest on Fig Night. So go back and check that out as well too. Fake Heel's coming on. We're going to be watching actually that Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 14. The Austin era has begun.
What? So that was in my neck of the woods.
Yes, it was.
Right
It sure
there,
was.
yeah.
So we talk about his figure collection and get into some great conversation about fig budgets and all that good stuff. So check that out. And yeah, head over to the social media. I'm probably going to be so many figures coming out. I may try to grab an extra one and might throw it up as a giveaway coming up soon. So we'll be able to go for that.
Giveaway.
So,
Give it away.
Give it away now.
But I got to give it to your mama. Marco, where can we find the Chick Foley show?
ChickFoleyShow.com. You can find me run the Twitter machine at Chick Foley Show on Twitter. You can find me in the Chick Foley IG comment section. If you want to join the festivities.
I joined in this week.
I pop in there from time to time when I see a comment that's kind of funny and I want to troll a little bit. I pop in there.
I'm trolling in there.
I love trolling there. It's great. But yeah. Other than that, Facebook group. Like I said, chickfoleshow.com.
That's right.
$2 gets you in, especially with all the new figures that are going to be popping up soon. I know a lot of people. I know in my area, I don't get a lot of figures, so I rely on the Facebook group to get me some stuff. So,
thank God,
it's fun times. That's pretty much.
I'll throw
Pod Foundation, IG. Check out all the latest updates of everybody. Turnbuckle Tavern, coming down the aisle. Chick Foley Show.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Check us out.
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Hell yeah. J-Bone, you were about to say something?
Oh no, I was just going to add to this point, about the figures too in the group. Anytime I see like some hot figures, I'll throw some up there. Shipping, retail plus shipping. So check it out.
Yeah, especially if you're interested in those, everyone loves those WWE superstar figures that are popping up everywhere. It's kind of
they look cool. I'm not even a collector, and they look
they're
really
the most
cool.
fun line out right now.
The Ruthless Aggression figures, if you're wanting that, those are
they look
coming out.
really good too. My Walmart had all the superstars in today. If anybody needs any,
what happened?
Yeah.
What do you have there?
They had all the Series 1.
We'll connect offline. We'll connect offline.
I'll have your people call my people.
Yeah.
And you can find me on the Independent Epicenter on Instagram and Twitter at Indie Epicenter. Victus Pro Wrestling has a show coming up. They just announced in September is their 2-year anniversary show, and they got some big plans there. They might have some other shows coming up soon. Just gonna have to wait and see. I will be, involved in all of them, and I'm looking forward to it. Got some other content coming up throughout the summer, but yeah. Just all fun stuff happening from all areas, all branches of the Pod Foundation. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to end off tonight's episode, as we always do, and that's by plugging the Turnbuckle Tavern. If you like what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure to support the Turnbuckle Tavern in any way that you can. And all those ways can be found over at theturnbuckletavern.com. Listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, watch us on YouTube, Twitch, follow us on TikTok, Discord, or join the Discord rather. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and you can buy our merchandise on Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Let's talk about our merch because we have a lot of it. ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern gets you some exclusive, one-of-a-kind merchandise from all of your tavern favorites. Hollywood Tony, Boney Shivani, MVP Marco, even Tom has a t-shirt. We also have Teespring, which you can get some official RAWDOWN logos on merch, stickers, t-shirts, If you want to become the RAWDOWN champion, get your own T-shirt and wear that championship with pride. Or if you want to spread the good word of Mr. Backlash, Randy Orton himself, wear that T-shirt with the most pride. I fucking love that T-shirt. One of my favorites. And of course, if all of those ways to support the tavern weren't enough and you want to get more involved with the Turnbuckle Tavern, call the tavern. 304-404-2004 is the number to call to get your voice heard and hear your message played on the flagship show. Leave us a voicemail. Get your voice in our ears. That's 304-404-2004. That is the number to call to be a part of the flagship show. Folks, next week is a great episode. As always, it's a great episode, but it's even better next week because Money in the Bank predictions are coming up. Of course, Tom, you have one more week. If you stick around, you got to make sure that you're here next week.
I'll be here.
All right. I'm counting on you, Tom.
All right.
But maybe you won't be champion coming up in 2 weeks. We'll have to see.
I hope I lose and I don't have to keep coming on. No, I'm just kidding.
That's mutual right there. But alas, folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. Another episode of the RAWDOWN. We will see you right here next week for our Money in the Bank predictions. But until then, take care, spike your hair, woo, woo, woo.
You know it.